Hi everyone, this is Elena and welcome. Today I have a little bit longer video, but please bear with me. I'm using the Suzy Mirror stamp. We'll do some mirror stamping, and I'm using my mini MISTI. So this stamp is A2, kind of fits a card front on it. So because it's unmounted rubber, I'm using few sheets of the MISTI paper pad to give that extra cushion on the bottom, instead of because the foam pad that comes with the MISTI, it's too high, and because I'm using clear stamps. If you're using clean mount stamps, you don't need the extra shim in your MISTI. And I'm using the Hero Arts Per and Woof stamp sets, and I want the dog to face towards the right side, towards the cat, because I'll use a cat and dog. And I noticed in both stamp sets, all the kitty cats and dogs are facing towards the left or forward, or a couple are facing back. I mean, they're showing you their back. So that's why I'm using the mirror stamps. I'm stamping with VersaFine ink. I'm stamping this little doggy 3 times. And then I'm just gonna put my sheet of paper on top of it and stamp again. This way it will transfer on the back. You can use your finger, but I wanted the stamp to have the, not the backwards, but the original stamp, because I'll be doing some die cutting and that will help me with positioning my die cut. So because I stamp with VersaFine and I want to color with Copic markers, I'm just embossing this with clear embossing powder. So we have that little doggy that will be facing towards the right side. Next, I'm going to stamp the cat and the pillow. And I'm just using those as they are. And I'll do again the same thing, emboss them with clear embossing powder. And then heat set them. So I had a lot of fun with this stamp and ended up stamping a bunch of cats and dogs, and I have them underneath here. Now it's time to color. So I'm using Copic markers. I have all the colors listed in the supplies on my blog post. So please visit my blog to see all the supplies that I used for those cards. As I said, I got carried away and I made about 9 cards, and I was left with even more stamped images for additional cards. So I'm just speeding up here, kind of coloring that pillow, and then I'll color the cat and the dog. I'm just trying to shade here. I'm using some YR 24, 14, and 27 for the cat. Again, I have all the colors listed on my blog, so you will be able to see which colors I used. So then I'll do that. That kind of, the color was pretty kind of skin-like that I didn't like, so went on top with different color and to match the dog. And for the dog I use E49, E47, E44, E43, something like that. Again, I have everything listed on my blog. And I made the little scarf, the little bandana around the dog's neck to match the pillow that the little cat will be lying on. So I'm just coloring around here, and I'm blending, and then I'm going with lighter color for the mouth. So next, here I'm using the die cuts, and you'll notice that the cat and the pillow match fine, but this one, it's kind of backwards. So I'm turning over my paper, and this is the original stamp. So I'm kind of die cutting it from the back. That's why I stamped the original, kind of the face up image too. So I'll be able to die cut that instead of cutting it by hand. Next, I'm just adhering with microspore tape so the die cuts are held in place. And the pillow. And I'll just run those through my die cutting machine along all those other cats and dogs that I stamped and I got carried away. So I'm just, you notice here I'm positioning those are the mirror stamped images. So I'm positioning the die cuts from the back. So here I'm, with the magic of YouTube, I have everything die cut and I'll start putting my cards together. So I'm just separating the images I wanted to use for the first card, my original card. Then I ended up with even more cats and dogs. So I have a panel that I die cut using the Hero Arts Infinity dies, the rectangle ones. And then kind of white on white didn't really look that appealing to me. So I decided to go with one of the Hero Arts folded bases, or note cards. I'm just positioning to see where I want everything to go. And then I'll put my panel into the MISTI to stamp that sentiment and make sure that it's perfectly straight. So I'm kind of centering it first with the help of my little transparency grid. And then I'll use one of the creative corners to make that straight. So I'm just positioning that and then picking it up with the lid of my MISTI. So next I'll use some VersaFine ink to stamp that sentiment. And because I want like very intense black, I'm stamping it 3 times, and then to match my images that I already embossed in clear embossing powder, I will emboss the sentiment as well. You just notice here, I just showed you very quickly an cleaning pad that's color box, as it's available through the My Sweet Petunia website, and it's perfect to clean your stamps when they're in the lid of the MISTI. So I heat set this, and next I'll adhere my images. Before that, I decided to stamp a couple hearts, and I'm be using the purple ink from the Kelly Perky Miami collection. So I'm stamping it a couple times, and then using dimensionals, I'll adhere my images onto the card panel. So I think that I'm satisfied how they're positioned. So before that, I decided to add some fun foam on the back to add some dimension. So I'm adhering that before I adhere the images, because they're in dimensionals and it will kind of interfere with applying the adhesive on the back of the panel. So there we have that, and next I'll just adhere it to my note card. And I'll add some sparkle glimmer pen onto the hearts, the clear one. So that's done. Next we're moving on to a different card. This is a little bit of interactive. And here again I got carried away and I made 4 sets of this kind of mirror image cats and dogs. And I'll be doing some sort of a spinner card. So I'm just adhering, now you can see the back and front. So I'm adhering those together, and I'm using some DCM silver floss. You can get it on Amazon. It's pretty inexpensive. And then I have my card front that I cut a kind of circle in it using the Hero Arts Infinity dies, the circle infinity dies, and then a ring that will go on the inside to cover that where I'm gonna adhere the thread. So then before I adhere that, I want to stamp the sentiment. And I'm stamping the You Make Me Happy. And again, I will emboss this one too, so because my images are embossed in clear embossing powder. I'm just heat set it now, and then I'll put together my spinner. So there's the little doggy. I'm opening my card first. I'm gonna put panel, kind of white on white, didn't really look that appealing again to me. So I'm just adding some soft sky cardstock on the inside. And then I'm gonna position my thread where I want that dog to be, and I'm just putting some big creative tape to secure that. Next I'll apply adhesive on my ring and adhere it on top. So I'm just using the Tombow Extreme Adhesive. I'm going to trim those ends so they don't show on the end of that ring. And there we have it. Next, again, my card kind of looked too plain, so I decided to add some Nuva drops. So I'm just adding those, and I decided to go with two shades of purple. Then I'll add some of the bottom left too. So there we have that, and with this my card is finished. And as I said, I got carried away and I made 4 of those. So here's the cats, and on the rest I added some sequins. So you will see that the little kitty cat is two-sided, and the dog as well. So now I'm going to move to more simpler cards. Those are perfect for little kids. My girls love card making and they love giving cards and sending cards. So I'm just using some of the mirror images and kind of positioning, we're making kind of planning which ones I wanted to use. So I'm going to use the cat and dog. One is mirror image, one is the regular one. Here's like 2 little cats, and again kind of jumping. Well, those are not the jumping, the previous were the jumping cats and dogs. So I have this little dog is here. I'm going to stamp a sentiment. A life is rough without you. And kind of add a heart. So ink that up, and because these images are not embossed, I'm just going to use plain ink without embossing it. So next I'm adding some foam, fun foam on the back and then popping it up onto my note card. And for all these cards I use Hero Arts note cards from different collections, so they're different colors. Then I'm popping the little puppies onto some dimensionals, and I'm adding some sparkle pen onto the hearts. So this is You and Me, Friends Forever. And again, I'm popping those up to add more interest to my cards onto dimensionals and then onto our card base. So I'm just here now, I'm actually just adhering them first, and then I'll add them at the end. I'll adhere all of them onto the card bases. So those are the little jumping cat and dog. I just put them on different levels so they look like they're jumping. But before I adhere them to my panel, I'm adhering that fun foam on the back. There we have. And then adding that sparkle pen onto the little hearts. So next I'll adhere all of them on my card bases. And we'll be almost done here. So this is the last one. And so here's again quick review of all the cards and the little spinner here. And they're quick and easy and very fun to work with the mirror image stamp. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my blog for more details. See you soon. Bye!